One here, and then we will get to work, as they say. All right, we are live on Amazon, and we're just going to get my system operational here, and we're going to get going. So I got the Wyze Cam OG in. Oops, I forgot. I have the wrong title on my Amazon stream. And I don't think I can change the title, but we were actually looking at the, forgot to rename that. But we are looking at the Wyze Cam OG today. So let's make a little correction here. We are looking at Wyze Cam OG. So I got the Pan version 3 over here somewhere too, so we'll look at that as well. So yeah, let me get myself situated here, and we'll get moving. So Recipe Bob is here. Hello there. Justin Roberts is here. Hello there. Chudgoo is here. Yes, I got both of them, the telephoto and the other one. And Ayan Khan is here too. Yes, we got both. And so the plan is I'm going to set them up, and we're going to hook them up and see how they work in the course of maybe an hour and a half. That is the plan overall. And let me just set up a quick recording directory here, and then we'll get going. So Wyze OG. All right. Okay. Yeah, so what I have in the box here, they sent free of charge to the channel, by the way, full disclosure. So we have Wyze Cam OG, Wyze Cam OG telephoto, and a box. And I think this box has the mounting bracket so you can put one on top of the other. And tonight, by the way, I've got a video that we're going to put up just about some of the changes that have happened with the freebies that you used to, or the free cloud streaming that you used to get with these things. So you don't get the Cam Plus Lite option with the new cameras. That includes the pan tilt camera also. So just be aware of that. There's a higher cost of ownership now. David Langley is here. Shane Sturba is here. Matthew Burden is here. And Knife Fight Elmo is here. Yeah, I think you got to find a reason, right? I mean, I didn't have much of a reason until I started getting these, and now I've got them, a couple of them around the house. They can be very useful, especially because they're weatherproof. So if you can get power out to them, they're pretty good. All right, so what I'm going to do, the Knife Fight's got 1 million cameras already. You can never have enough cameras. That's what I say. Another thing I like about these is that, and actually this is true of all the Wyze Cams, even the older ones, is that they can do continuous recording onto an SD card, which I think is also quite useful. Romeric is here. Hello there. But I do like tonight's video that'll be up around dinner time, 6:45 p.m. Eastern. I am going to just do something on the cloud differences, because before you would get cloud recording for free. Now you don't with the new cameras. So the old cameras will still do it. The new ones, you have to pay for it. Howdy, howdy to you, Justin Collins. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, so I'm going to do a little unboxing of these. Let me get them started so it's not wasting as much time. And it is really nice out today. It hit about in my car as I was picking up my coffee. By the way, I got to drive, I kid you not, 6.5 miles round trip to get a cup of coffee. My coffee maker was not clean. We forgot to run. I can put my entire coffee maker in the dishwasher. I was like, I could wash it, or I could just go get some sanity. So I left the house for a minute or two. So that's what I did. All right, so let's get these unboxed. I'm going to record a video for my extras channel where we unbox these things. And I guess their vision is that you use both of these together, I guess is the vision. So you can actually strap one onto the other. So you'll notice that the OG camera has a light on it, the telephoto does not. And it looks like this one has color night vision, but the other one doesn't. Yeah. Actually, they both do have it. That's interesting. They didn't put it in the thing here. So it looks like the big difference here, yeah, they're both weather rated. I'm just seeing if there's anything missing from one versus the other. So what do they take out? Because it's the same number of features here. HD, IP65. Oh, sorry, this one has the integrated spotlight. So the OG has an integrated spotlight, the other one doesn't. But you get a zoom. So like you could point them both in the same direction and get two different things there. So yeah, and I have a knife, but I keep losing my knives. I don't know, maybe my children are stealing them. Perhaps I should be concerned about that. CM is here, hello there. Yeah, I actually have oh, wait a minute. Is it on the desk here? No. I have a box cutter. Actually, I have two box cutters that I lost both of them. So I have no idea what happened. So, all right, let me get to the unboxing and we'll get to work. So let me get that going. And we're going to record this for my extras channel. 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and we've got another Wyze unboxing today. We got in, free of charge and full disclosure from Wyze, the new OG cameras. I'm assuming this is the next iteration of their low-cost security camera. So we have here the OG, which is the regular camera here, and we'll start seeing what's inside of it. In full disclosure, as I mentioned, these did come in free of charge from Wyze. However, they are not paying for this unboxing, nor are they reviewing or approving it before it gets uploaded. And all the opinions you're about to hear are my own. So let's get into this here and see what we got. Now, these cameras, like their previous generation, are weatherproof. The difference now with these new ones, though, is that you have your regular camera here, which is the OG, and then they also have a telephoto, which I'll unbox in a minute. Now, these are weatherproof. They only give you, though, about 6 feet of cable, so you may need a little bit more to reach to a particular area that you're hooking these things up with. They use standard USB connectors here. You should note, though, that the included power adapter is not rated for outdoor use, and they will, of course, sell you another adapter that does do that. This is the camera here. We'll hook it up in a minute and get it set up. This new one has a spotlight on it. It's only, though, on the regular OG camera, not the telephoto lens, so you can illuminate an area when motion is detected if you want to use the color night vision mode on it, and we'll look at that in my full review. Now, you notice here that there's a little plastic spacer here that I can remove, and the vision that they have for this is that you buy these in pairs. Now, they'll work independently, but if you buy them together, you can have one camera sit on top of the other, because this one has a 3x zoom here, this OG telephoto version, and so this can get in closer versus this one. So this would be your wide angle lens, and this one will be your telephoto. And I believe there is a mounting solution that you can put together to have one sit on top of the other. All right, so that's part one. Yeah, these are not USB-C, they are micro USB still. So they are sticking, they're OG, right? If you're gonna be OG, you gotta go all the way on OG, which means you gotta be OG on your connector. All right, so we got that done. Yes, I managed to come back without illness this time. I got sick with 2 different things before I left. So I had COVID again in early December, and then I caught a cold from my kids or somebody. But that all happened before I left. So I left healthy and came back healthy. That was what was good. Hi, Dennis Black. Hope you're enjoying your lunch. I'm having my coffee break right now, as a matter of fact. And I was referring to this is my name's question earlier on that. Yeah, so I'm going to do a video tonight on what is included and excluded, because so if you have the older cameras, you're fine. But these newer cameras do not have any cloud at all. So that's important to note. I'm assuming OG stands for Original Gangster, but I don't know, because these certainly are different than the OG camera is. So the subscription price is $1.67 per camera per year, is what they tell me. And then if you have a lot of cameras, you can spend $10 a month and get an unlimited number of them. But I think they're trying to be cute with the OG thing. All right, so now I don't know how you get this box that they've shipped with me, because this has the adapter. 3, 2, 1. Now to mount one camera on top of the other, they also included this box in my kit that I received. So I don't know if they're actually selling these things together or what. Actually, let me start that again, I really don't know. 3, 2, 1. Now I think if you buy these things as a pair, the kit will come with another box, which I have in my hand here, which allows you to mount one on top of the others. As you can see, this little mount here will slide into the top of the camera, and then we can get the other camera mounted on top of it. By the way, the telephoto also has a spot for this, so you could have the telephoto on the top or have the telephoto on the bottom. It is your choice. What I'm going to do here is just unscrew the base and get this other camera here screwed on. All right. So let's get that situated. Whoop. It is a little off kilter here. Do I have, maybe I'm not doing this right. Oh, I see. I think I did it backwards. Of course I did. There we go. See, if anyone can figure out how to put something on backwards, it's going to be me. That's how that goes. Yes, it does have, these do have SD card slots, which I will talk about in a second. They're on the bottom. So you have them there on the bottom. And that's going to be important, as you'll see in tonight's video, because if you don't want to pay the subscription fee, you're going to need it. And we have to activate these one at a time. All right. So this will be the subject of my video tonight. It can be used without the cloud, and it will retain it all on the SD card, and you can access that remotely. Now, what will happen though, and I'll show you exactly what happens if you don't have a subscription. So if I go to my events from yesterday, so I did put the subscription on one of my cameras just to see what it does. And bear with me here, because I have a whole bunch of examples on my phone. All right, so here's how it goes down. Let me just get my phone on DND here. Okay, so all right, so if you are not paying the subscription fee, and my other camera now is turned off, so let me go find that, plug it back in again, just to show you the whole process. So I do have the PTZ camera, or the PT, the pan and tilt camera, which I reviewed the other day, and that's going to be up probably tomorrow or the next day. So I'll just plug this in real quick so you can see what happens. All right, so after the camera boots up here, I will show you what it does. So this is the new pan tilt camera, and then this is the OG. Yeah, they're definitely pushing the subscription services. They got a big infusion of cash, and I think that's where they want to go, is to really push you in that direction. And I'm just going to wait for the camera to boot up here, and then once it's booted, I can demo this. So, and you'll see this on tonight's video. So if you don't have a subscription, what's going to happen is you're going to get the notification like, hey, I saw something happen. And if you click on the notification that you received, all you get is an image like this. That's it. So if you have the SD card installed on the camera like I do, there's an SD card installed in there right now, you hit the playback button, and what it will then do is connect to the camera. So now we're live, and then it rolls over to what happens. So there's an extra step, but this is playing off of the SD card right now. So that is not a cloud recording. But if somebody walks off with your camera, they get it, okay? But if you want to avoid the cloud charges, you can still do that. And you'll see that with these cameras when I set them up also. So that's what you got there. Yeah, we are we are playing with a bunch of new Wyze cameras. Like this week for me has been like Wyze week, because I'm a Wyze guy. Because they just came out with a whole bunch of new cameras. So this is their OG telephoto, and this is their OG. So there you go. So hopefully, hopefully that answers your question. And what I'm going to do next is get these cameras set up and show people how to do that. So let me go back here. And I have like a lot of Wyze stuff, as you can see. So I've got sensors, and you know what I even did? And I have like this printer that won't turn off, this Dymo label printer. So I put it on a smart plug. So I can just hit the button and turn it on when I need it, and then I have it set to turn itself off like every night in case I forget to turn it off. Because believe it or not, that printer was like using, I was measuring the power consumption. That printer just sucks down power when it's not being used. And Patrick Chang says that's how it works with their, yes. So you can do that. What the difference though is that on their older cameras, you could use the cloud for free. So they have something called Cam Plus Lite on the old cameras that if you just tell them you want it for free, you get some basic cloud functionality that you don't get any longer on the new cameras. So these new cameras cannot be used with Cam Plus Lite. So that's the difference. All right, so let me go back to me, and we're going to pick up this recording. Let me just make sure I got my clip logged here. So what I like to do when I do a live stream is to try to maximize my value. Hopefully you find value in this, which means that I like to record as I go. I don't know what this one is. Hang on. Let me just take a look here. I just want to see what I recorded already. Oops. What's for dinner, everybody? I'm having leftover Chinese food. Oh, it's another clip that I did. They also okay, so included this box. What? Actually, 3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody, it's Lon. No, 3, 2, 1. Now, I think if you buy these things as a pair, the kit will come with another box, which I have in my hand here, which allows you to mount one on top of the other. So as you can see, this little mount here will slide into the top of the camera. Okay, now I got it. So now what I'm going to do is start back on me, because I think that clip ended here. Yeah, so, and now I'm going to correct the record to make sure that I got this thing on the right way. Hey, it looks like Meatface is joining us on Amazon. Good to see you again. And thank you for the kind words, Gilberto. Now, here's the thing with this, is that these cameras, unfortunately, they don't do it anymore. These cameras actually worked with NVRs. They used to have an RTSP capability. But unfortunately, they no longer have that. So it's up to you to decide if the smart stuff is what you want to do. Hey, Logic KGR is joining us. Thanks for stopping by on Amazon. Yeah, you can watch me on Amazon or here. I'm going to start doing Twitter soon, too. I think I can do 3 at once. I was doing Facebook, but I was not getting any traffic from it. So I'm going to probably start playing around with Twitter, because you can do free streaming there. Gamma Filter, hello there. All right, so let me pick it up from here. 3, 2, 1. Now, I did have that mount on backwards initially, but as you can see now, we've got it correctly situated here. And this is one of the imagined use cases where you've got your wide angle. I think I talked about that already. Let's start again. 3, 2, 1. All right, now I initially put, oops, 3, 2, 1. Now I initially put on that mounting bracket backwards, but as you can see now, we've got everything mounted properly, and it feels like it's pretty well balanced here, so you can get everything positioned where it needs to be. Now these are two separate cameras though, so we do have to get them set up individually. What I will do is show you how to set up one, and the other one will set up in the same manner. You do have the ability to mount these on a wall, so you can kind of get everything situated the way you want. These cameras also have SD card slots on board. You can put up to a 256 gigabyte card in them. They can actually record continuously on the card or just record motion events as they happen. If you're not going to pay for the cloud subscription, you definitely want to get an SD card for your cameras so you can review footage after things happen. Unlike prior editions of Wyze cameras, these do not have any free cloud recording capability. You have to pay to get cloud storage. But again, if you've got an SD card, you can pop that in and pull the footage off of the camera through the Wyze app without the subscription. Now what I want to do is get this camera powered up, and we'll pair it up with my network and see how it works. All right, we're making progress. We are getting there. So this is part 3. And then what I'm going to do with these actually is when we're done getting them set up, I'm going to put them outside because I'm curious to see what it looks like. All right, so we got it here. Okay, so now I'm going to go. Oh, look at this. I didn't even notice this. So check it out. They've got a little splitter cord in here. Oh. Now, is this the same? Yeah, this one just has a little bit more power. So they've got a little splitter cable in the box. So let me add that to the mix here. I think the cable length is about the same, though. It's not terribly long. Yeah, it's about 6 feet. Oops, 3, 2, 1. Now, one other thing I noticed is that the kit came with a splitter cable here for power, along with a power adapter that can provide just a little bit more juice, so you can get a single power source for both cameras when you've got them mounted in this configuration. Just note, though, that like the power adapter that comes with the cameras individually, this is not rated for outdoor use. All right, fill that in. And what we're doing here is just adding some more footage for my extras channel here. So, splitter cable. All right. Can you monetize Twitter? Not yet, but soon you will be able to. And glad I could help, Relentless. Yeah, I'm always trying to figure this stuff out myself. And Sam is joining us from down under in Melbourne, Australia. I really want to visit Australia one day. Maybe one day I'll get out there. And keep the footage with the accidental chop. I'll do my best. I drop things a lot. So, yeah, so unfortunately this will not send to a file server. You could probably, I mean, maybe you could finagle it somehow through an API, but I don't think there's a way to easily do it. So it will not work with RTSP like the old one did, unfortunately. Yeah, so I've looked at Twitch. The problem I have with Twitch is that if you're a partner, maybe they changed this, but I think if you're a partner on Twitch, you can't, they don't let you do simulcasting to another service. So that's been why I've not been too keen on doing anything on the Twitch side. But I'm open to it. Because that's the one thing I haven't done a lot with is Twitch. Oops. All right, so let me get these powered up here. And I can tighten this up a little bit here too to keep them from moving around too much. 3, 2, 1. All right, so to get this set up, we're first going to need to put some power into it. These cameras are weatherproof, so they've got this cable here with a micro SD connector on it that basically seals tight so that it keeps the water out. And what you do is just plug it in, and you'll get this ready to connect message. And what I would suggest you do is get your phone on the Wi-Fi network that you want to use the camera with. These don't work with a hub, they connect directly to Wi-Fi. So if you get your phone paired on that network, the app can take what network you're connected to and send it to the phone. So I'm going to do that on my phone real quick, and we'll get this one set up. All right. See, I found on Amazon these quick videos where we do like an unboxing and a setup have been very useful on Amazon. So that's, even though this will be on the extras channel, I also put this on Amazon too. All right, set up part one. Nope, no USB-C, still micro USB. Martin Paolini is here. Good to see you. Sam says Australia is a great country. I agree. You know, it's funny, I find, I have some Australian friends, and I find that we have a lot, like there's a lot of commonality, I think, between American culture and Australian culture. Because we're both like out in the, you know, in pioneering, right? So I get a good kinship with my friends from Australia. What about Wi-Fi SD? I don't think there is a Wi-Fi SD card that would fit in there. I think those are only, oh, did I say micro SD connector? Let me see. Let's play that back. Hang on. All right, let's play it back. 3, 2, 1. All right, so to get this set up, we're first going to need to put some power into it. These cameras are weatherproof, so they've got this cable here with a micro SD connector on it that basically seals tight so that it keeps the water out. We got to do that again. Thank you for catching that. That's why I do this stuff live. And right? What you do is, that's why I do this live. So let me. I would get destroyed for that. Thank you for catching that. All right, we're gonna try that again. Okay. So we're going to do this one more time. Take two. I got a lot of cables here, so you're going to hear me repeat myself, but that's what happens a lot of times on these streams, as many of you know. Let me move this camera out of the way too so people don't get confused. I think we'll unplug this guy again. All right. All right, let's try this again. That's right, 2.4 gigahertz only. You are correct. I should probably point that out too. All right, one more time. Let's get these things back into... It does look kind of funky, doesn't it? Here's your camera. Here's your camera. 3, 2, 1. All right, so we're going to get these cameras set up. And one thing that I suggest that you do is get your smartphone first connected to the Wi-Fi network that you want to attach the cameras to. These do not work with a hub. They have to be connected directly to Wi-Fi. They only support 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi, so if you have a split network like I do at my house, you'll want to make sure your phone is connected to the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. Although in most cases, your Wi-Fi will automatically do it for you. Just for those of us that actually split them apart, just know that these are not compatible with 5 gigahertz. Now, the power connector here is a standard micro U. It happens every time. We're back now. It's okay. That was the 55-minute marker. We've been at this for 55 minutes already. Can you believe that? No, it's only a half hour this time. Huh. I was thinking it hasn't been that long. Usually we cut out at 55 minutes, not at the 30-minute mark, but the Amazon stream stayed up, so I think this was a YouTube problem. All right. Yeah, weird that it was 29. Usually it's 55. So the problem is getting worse, not better. Yeah, they're supposedly fixing this, which they never got around to doing. All right, so let me play. So I think that was a good take, right, everybody? Let me get rid of this one. This one ended up being a little bit longer, but I think it worked better. Okay, so now we're going to get my Wyze app out here. All right, so let's go into the Wyze app. And I'm going to make the screen a little brighter. Okay. Oh, so interesting. So you guys didn't see. So did it cut you guys off? Because I had a warning message on my screen. I don't know if you saw that. Maybe that was just a warning. All right. So let me get this next part going. Okay. 3, 2, 1. All right, so now we're going to hop over to the Wyze app. You do have to set up an account with them. And to add the camera, I'm going to hit the plus button on my phone. I'm going to go to Add Device. I'm going to go to Cameras, and we're going to start off with the Wyze Cam OG here. So I'm going to hit that one, and it's going to have me plug it into the outlet, which we did, and then it should start flashing red, which it is. And then it wants me to push the Setup button, which I will do. And we'll hold that down, and it will flash red. Now, it kind of already did that when we turned it on. Yep, there we go. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit Begin Setup now. And now it's going to be searching for my device, and it wants to keep it near my device as we do that. And now it's going to ask me to select the network. And here's all the different networks that I have at my house. I'm going to select the one that I want it to connect to. And it does need a password for that because I needed to, oh shoot, hang on a second. So I think I'm going to, I forgot to connect my phone to the freaking network. The good news is this doesn't appear to need the barcode like the old one did. So let me see what I can salvage out of this. I think I might take it from the top, but let's see. Hang on. 3, 2, 1. All right, so now all the different networks that I have, it wants to keep it near my device as we do that. And now it's going to ask me to select the network. And here's all the different networks that I have at my house. I'm going to select the one that I want it to connect to. Oh, sorry, I was muted. I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, we always time warp onto the channel. That's exactly it. All right, so now the phone is going to be on the other network. So what I have here in my house is that I have taken all of my IoT devices and I put them on a whole separate leg of my internet connection. I actually, my internet connection has two legs to it. So I can separate everything out completely, which is what I did. All right, let's start this from the top here. I'm going to take it right from the top. And I'm going to hit the setup button again here. Because now it's blinking a different color. This is all my fault. These things are actually easier to set up than I'm making them out to be.
Restored to factory settings.
Thank you. So it's just been restored to factory settings.
Ready to connect.
Okay. From the top. All right, so now our phone is connected properly, and we'll take it from the top. Okay, so let's try this again. 3, 2, 1. Now to set the camera up, we have to go into the Wyze app, and what I'm going to do here is hit the plus icon and add device. I'm going to go to cameras, and we're going to select Wyze Cam OG, because that's the camera we're setting up today. And what it's going to be having me look for is the front light here flashing red, which it is. But what they do suggest that you do is hold down the setup button anyhow. So we're going to hold that down, and the camera is going to say ready to connect in a second here once we hold it down long enough. Almost there.
Restore to factory settings.
And it's going to say ready to connect. Maybe.
Ready to connect.
All right, there we go. And so we're going to say it said ready to connect, and then I'm going to click begin setup. The next thing it's going to do is look for our devices. So it looks like it can communicate via Bluetooth to the camera here, which should make the setup a little bit easier than some of their older ones. Now, I'm going to have it connect to the network that I am currently connected to, which is my IoT network here. And I am finding, though, it's asking me to type the password in. I think maybe on the Android platform, it may not require the password entry, but here I had to type the password in. So right now it is sending those instructions over Bluetooth to the camera.
Wi-Fi connected.
And we're getting some confirmations here as things are going through. And now I can name my camera. And this one we're going to play around with on in my backyard. So I'm going to say backyard camera. And we're going to call this wide because the other camera we're also going to set up out there. So I'm going to call that backyard cam wide. The other thing they're going to prompt you for here is the Cam Plus subscription. I'm going to skip this for now because I do want to see how it works without it, but that might be something you may want to add there. And then you get the option to share the device with family members, but now we are good to go. Now, of course, I could add the other camera here, but what I'm going to do for now is just say that we're all set up. I'm going to hit complete, and now we'll have our camera here popping up, and I can take a look at what the camera is currently seeing. So right now it's going to load up the live stream over the Wi-Fi, and we should get an image very shortly. So let's let that do its thing, and we'll come back when it's ready. That worked better. Of course, right when I stop recording is when it shows up, right? So here you go. Here's your image. It doesn't seem to play well with the LED lights I have down here. You see that striping? That is the result of the LEDs. Excuse me, LEDs in the room. Yeah, so you can see right here, because I did not attach this camera to Cam Plus, I just get the still image. All right, so let's go back to the camera. I'm just curious how this thing... Okay, so then it wants a firmware update, of course. So we're going to do the firmware update.
Firmware is being updated.
Okay. Christoph Howard is here. Hello there. I hear sound too. Yeah, I had muted my mic earlier. So what happens is if I don't mute the mic when I play back, you all hear it because I have a speaker on my display. So what I often do when I record stuff, I play it back to make sure I'm good with it, then I go on to the next one. And I have my monitor that I use here on the desk has a speaker built into it, so I can hear the sound coming out of it. But this mic will pick it up and kind of echo it back to you all. And I think what I'm going to do is get the other camera set up.
Firmware upgraded successfully.
All right. It went great. Your update went great. All right, so now I got to tell you, I think the image quality is better out of the pan cam, to be honest with you. I'm not crazy about the way this is looking so far. It looks heavily saturated. See how orange so I have that picture on the floor over there? So I got a lot of striation in the images here. Let's see if there's a setting for the cameras. See if it has some way to like sync up with the LED lighting. Yeah, I don't see. I'll have to ask them about this because I don't see anything. The other camera did better. I mean, we get a little bit of that striation. It won't be a big deal outside, but yeah, I'm not seeing that in the camera settings here. Ooh, that's a bright light. See that? That's a bright little light. Look at that. Woo! My camera doesn't like it at all. I could see that being pretty useful outside. It's only on this one, though, that it does that. Has a siren. Should I push the siren button? Woo! Okay. Yep, there we go. All right. So you got that going. All right, let me check and see if anyone on Amazon has questions here. So, no, JPix. So JPix was wondering about do you get both with this? No. So the one that's on sale on Amazon right now is just the lower one. So this one is not yet available on Amazon. So I should make that clear. Let me add that to the chat just so everybody knows. So I would imagine it's probably going to be about the same for the telephoto. But it won't be long before they have both. All right, so now I'm going to pair up the other one. Actually, let's just get the image there, and then we'll. And what I'm going to do actually is record an image of, so I can actually record video from the camera here that will go to my phone. I'll point it over this way maybe. And this is obviously not an ideal environment for this camera, but I will say the other one seemed to work a little better as far as the image quality is concerned. So we'll put it outside and get a better feel for it. But I am not crazy about, here, you take a look at this. Like, that's what I'm getting out of it right now. It's not good. And granted, we're not in an environment that this camera is typically used in, which is that I've got production lights overhead. But the other camera does much, the pan cam did a much better job of that. All right. So I'm going to hit the record button here. And I think it just might be how this camera is configured, because I can't seem to find a way to adjust. Yeah, I'm not seeing any option here for this. So we'll come back to that, I think, when I do some more with it. But let me go back and just do a quick 3, 2, 1. All right, so we got the camera now set up. It did have a firmware update that it wanted to do initially, but here you go. We've got an image here. I'll be honest, I was I was more pleased with 3, 2, 1. All right, we did have to do a firmware update, but our camera now is sending us an image through their app, and you can see what it looks like here. I'm going to hit the record button here so we can show you a better view of what this camera is currently seeing. I am finding the colors look a bit oversaturated, but this is probably not a typical environment for this camera where we have it in a studio environment. So in my full review, we're going to put it outside and see how it does doing more real-world applications here. Having said that, though, I do think the video quality out of their recent version 3 pan cam looks better here, at least on my desk. And you can also hear in this clip what the microphone out of this camera sounds like. So that is the first camera. What I'm going to do now real quick, though, is set up the telephoto one, and we'll put it outside and see what the telephoto one can pick up that the wide-angle one cannot. All right. This is not a full review that I'm recording. This is just kind of a setup process. All right, so we're going to add, this is setup part 4. And now what I'm going to do is get the other camera hooked up. I got cables all over the place. I don't know if I'm coming or going here. Here it is. All right. Okay, so I got the other one here, and we're going to set up the telephoto guy. And if you have questions, keep asking, and I will keep answering as best I can. Okay, here we go.
Ready to connect.
Ready to connect. All right. So let's go back now and repeat the process. And I'm going to actually group these cameras together in the app also. So add device, cameras, Wyze Cam OG. So they have another one called version 3 Pro, which I don't see on here. See available. All right, begin setup. And hopefully it finds it. And I'll take some questions here while we're going through all this here. All right. So yeah, I'll start doing a little bit more ham radio stuff. You know what I'm finding with it, first of all, I have to get my antennas figured out. And the unfortunate, here's what I discovered so far in my ham radio adventure is that
Connecting to network.
I am horrible when it comes to handiwork. And so I'm finding that a lot of ham operators are also very good at setting up their own antennas. I am not. But I do have some things that I want to do because there's a lot of cool stuff going on with satellite work. I want to get that going. So I've got to get somebody here. I've got a path that I want my feed cables to go through. So I want to get all that set up. I need to get my general license going, and I do want to do more with ham radio. Unfortunately, what I found is that I'm not getting a ton of traffic. So from an economic standpoint, I still got to stick to doing a lot of this stuff because this is the stuff that does better financially for me. But I do want to do more of the ham radio stuff. We did do a really fun visit to the ARRL headquarters in Connecticut here. So that was really fun to do. And so I will do more. All right, let me just update the firmware on here. And
Firmware is being updated.
so we'll get that going. Does Wyze have a solar panel for power? They do, but not for these cameras. So you could probably rig up your own. You can get one of those solar battery combos. That would probably work. But the solar panel that they offer is for their outdoor camera only, which is different than this one. Smoky Hill got yours in already. Cool. Yeah, I guess they just came out yesterday. But yeah, I would like to do more. So I am going to do more with ham radio. I just got to get organized on that. And my winter project, I got to get my friend in here to help me get the radio, the feed problems in, and we'll get moving with that. Your mode 3, 2, 1. Yep, that. You know what I do that for is that I in the past I was very bad about leaving enough pre-roll on my video for transitions and stuff. So I've trained myself to do that. All right, so the firmware is updated. Does it help when we? Yes. Every interaction helps. Even if you call me an idiot, that helps because it just increases the amount of engagement, which is all these algorithms care about, unfortunately. Hey, awesome. I didn't realize I inspired so many people to get their ham license. So you are a general then, it sounds like, if you're going for your extra now. And what started the ham radio thing? So actually, it's funny you should mention that because it happens to be on the desk here. So I had picked up this thing. This is the RTL SDR, which is a software-defined radio that you can plug into your computer's USB port, and then you have an SMA connector here to attach antennas to. And I was blown away by just how much stuff you can pick up with this thing. And so I started figuring out decoding digital signals and packet radio and DMR, and I discovered there's this whole world going on around me that I had no idea was out there. And wouldn't you know, you can send data packets all over the world, some through satellites, others just through the atmosphere. And I was just like, whoa, this is amazing. So that's been really fun. We have a club in my town, but they don't meet, unfortunately. So I was hoping there'd be a little bit more of an active ham scene around here. There used to be more of an active one, but not as much anymore. All right, so now this camera is set up. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go unplug this real quick, both of these. And I'm going to go plug this in outside. So talk amongst yourselves for a minute. Be nice to each other. I just got to find the right adapter here. This is the 1 amp one. I can't, you know, I am so old now, I can't see anything anymore. 1.5. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to put these outside real quick, and then we'll see what this looks like. I'm just going to put it outside the door here. I've got an outlet, I think, available to me down here. Yep, we do. Okay, so I'm going to put this out. I'm just going to put it on the ground here. And I'm going to take, wait a second, what did I do wrong here? I've grabbed the wrong cable. All right, hang on a second. Let's get, I got to get the other cable. And we're going to hook this up. I can't tell you how nice it is outside here. So I'm in Connecticut, where usually around this time of the year it is frigid. And today, my car registered 55 degrees Fahrenheit. And you Celsius folks can tell me what that is in Celsius, but it's pretty, it's like spring-like out here. We always get like a little January thaw, so I think that's what we're getting here. All right, so let me get the power supply connected here. And again, this power supply is not rated for outdoor usage, but it's not raining. And so when I'm done, I'm going to bring the cameras back in. It does feel like kind of a Frankenstein kind of thing with like these two cameras strapped together here. So they don't zoom, but one can zoom and the other one doesn't. All right, so let's get this. There we go. And it should be able to get to my Wi-Fi there. So let's take a look at that. Okay. All right. So now, I went outside today. How about that? All right. All right, I'm going to do more. I will do more. I think what I wanted to do in the short term was figure out how to communicate with GreenCube, which is a mid-Earth orbit satellite. So it's not low Earth orbit, and so that means it's higher and it's in view longer. So that's the one that I really wanted to connect to. All right, so I got both cameras going here. Let me do, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to group these together. Yeah, talk amongst yourselves. That was what was it? Was Coffee Talk on Saturday Night Live? Talk amongst yourselves. All right. So you want to guess what my front yard looks like? You're going to see exactly what you think you're going to see. All right, there we go. So I think what I'm going to do is group these cameras together. All right, so let's do this. Let me see where I left off on my last clip. Yeah, okay, so part 4 ends on me. This is becoming actually quite a production for the Extras channel. So, all right. 3, 2, 1. All right, so we got both cameras now set up in my backyard. And what I'm going to do, because these cameras are together, is create a group in Wyze so that I can better manage the two. So I'm going to hit the plus icon here. And instead of adding a device, I'm going to add a device group. And I'm going to create a camera group. And we're going to call this backyard. And what I'm going to do here is add my backyard telephoto and my backyard wide to the group and click done. And what will happen here now is you can see it consolidated those two cameras into one. And if I tap on this now, I actually get both images at the same time. And you can see here just how big the zoom is on that 3x. So this lower image here is the regular camera. And this top image here is the telephoto camera. So you can see just how far it zooms in, which is pretty substantial. So I think you'll be spending some time trying to figure out the best placement for both of these cameras. Again, these are in the same exact spot, one stacked on top of the other, but you can see just how far out that zoom lens can get versus the wide angle one here. And what I'm going to do here is record a little B-roll so that I have this for later. So I'm just going to hit the record button here. And what this will do is just give me some footage that I can use in the video. Hey, Red Techie's here. He lives around the corner from me, so he's feeling the same beautiful temperatures that we're getting here. Have you left the house today, Red Techie? Because it's worth leaving the house today. I did so. I went and got myself a latte over at Deep River Roasters, which I no longer have a latte for now. And I picked up some dark roast for tomorrow's breakfast. All right, so that's done. And now I'm going to go back a notch here, and we're just going to pull up the other one. Yeah, I will say I'm not crazy about the image quality on these. They're very much oversaturated. I think this might be a function of its night vision, but I don't have the night vision on. But I think maybe the sensor is just overcompensating in good light. But it's picking up some good detail there. I'm just going to grab another 30 seconds of stuff there too. Well, if you haven't been outside yet, get outside. Just take a breath out there. It's nice. It was like 55 degrees earlier. It was beautiful. Red Techie's got Comcast fiber like I do. So we did an experiment, just sending some data back and forth. And because we're like in the same central office, we basically have a LAN speed connection between 6 gigabits between us. Too bad we don't have time to play games. We could have an awesome LAN party with all this bandwidth we have together. You know what I've been doing? This is actually kind of fun, Jose. So what I've done, because they have these SDRs all over the world, when I'm testing my propagation, because right now I think I'm only on, I think 10 meters is all I'm allowed to use right now. Right? I think 10 meters is the technician license limit. Yeah. So what I've been playing around with on 10 meter is if I see some good propagation, I will transmit on a frequency and then tune a SDR that's on the web somewhere else in the world on that frequency to see if I can pick myself up. And it's been kind of fun to play around with that. Another thing you could do is use those SDRs with you know, some of the FT8 software to see if you can pick up your own transmissions somewhere else in the world. It's kind of a neat concept when you think about it. You can log into somebody else's antenna somewhere else in the world and see if you can hear what you're sending out from where you are. It's crazy. Yes, you can do landscape. So right now it's just capturing the video. So if we flip the phone into landscape mode here, like I just did, you can get, you'll get this. So that's what it looks like when you're going there. Moma Chan, sorry I missed your question there. And what is the best outdoor camera I can mount rain and snow to observe the outdoors? So these cameras actually are pretty good. You know, they're powered over USB, so you got to have some way to get USB power out to them. But because they're USB powered, you don't have any battery issues. I have friends that really like those game cameras. I have a friend of mine that's got one that he picks up all sorts of crazy animals in his yard at night. Those run off of like D-cell batteries, and you know, every couple of days you go out and check the card. But these will obviously connect to your Wi-Fi. So these I like. Another one that I've been playing around with, and there are some privacy issues to think about on these, but the Eufy cameras have a solar version. In fact, I have a solar Eufy camera out in my garden. And I bought the camera. This is their S40, but I actually have another kit from them that I'm going to look at soon. That camera, I've never charged it. I put it outside and it's been keeping itself topped off just with solar energy since I got it. So it's pretty cool. And they've got another one that works that way. So yeah, there you go. So that is the, can I do this? No, I can't do that. So that is the regular one, and then here is the telephoto one. Give you a sense. So same spot, but it definitely is a pretty beefy zoom on that sucker. So we'll have to play around with that a little bit more. So yeah. So let's take some more questions here. Yeah, here 10 meter has been hopping. Like it's been, that's why I want to get my antenna back up and mess around a little bit more. I just haven't had time, but I do want to get back on there. And I have all the equipment, it's just the antenna. So what I want to do is get like, I want to get my general, and then I want to get a antenna that I'll just throw out in a tree out there just to get a bigger HF antenna, and along with an antenna tuner. And then I can start playing around with a few more different modes and stuff. But yeah, we're almost to 10 gigabits. Six is enough for me right now, I can tell you that. Yeah, I don't think the saturation's an issue. I just feel like their other camera has a better color balance. What is my opinion of Arlo? So I have never played with the Arlo cameras, so I don't have an opinion I can give you on that. I will say that my preference had been Wyze for a long time because you didn't need the subscription. You know, there was no, even for the cloud, you didn't need the subscription. And I thought that was a significant value add that is no longer there. So I'm more open-minded, I think, about some of the other brands now. I don't know if Arlo has a fee to use it or not. It seems like the way most of these cameras are going is that, you know, there's a lot of functionality you get with the subscription and cloud conveniences, and then if you don't want that, then use your SD card, right? The Eufy cameras always worked as this works, in that you get no cloud at all and you rely on your local storage. Although they do have some cloud thing now that you can subscribe to, so making it more complicated. But yeah, I think we are in a good sunspot cycle for 10 meter. And I think 10 meter had been, not dead, but had been somewhat dead for a long time, and now it's picking back up again. So the band is wide open. All right, I'm gonna get my antenna back up on the porch. Maybe I'll play around with it this weekend. Part of it also has been, I've been so busy, like since my kids went back to school this year, it's just been crazy. Arlo, no fee. Oh, there's a no fee plan and a paid plan. And Shane says that has 7 days of cloud storage for free, but it may be going away. Yeah, I think none of these companies can afford to do it. Because what happened with Wyze was they were doing it for a long time, and then when, I think they were reliant upon, it wasn't quite a Ponzi scenario, but they had to keep selling cameras to pay for the cloud overhead. And when the pandemic hit and we had all these equipment all these shortages, they couldn't get the cameras in to sell, and so their finances went into a bad place, which is why they started that thing that they do, Cam Plus Lite for the other cameras. But the new cameras, no light option. No RTSP option either on these new ones. So tonight's video is actually going to be about the Wyze cameras and the changes that have happened, because the two questions I got the most on our video, or the other day when we did the stream on this camera, this is the PTZ camera. By the way, thank you, Moma-chan, I think it's awesome, and Donald Halstead for your follows. So when we started looking at this camera the other day, the two biggest questions I got the most during the live stream were RTSP support and the Cam Plus Lite. Those are the things that people were the most curious about. And those are the two things that these cameras don't support any longer. So you can't use your own NVR with it like you could before. I have a rubber band I was trying to get rid of here. So yeah, I mean, it's fine. I think they're good cameras. They're very inexpensive, but you get a little less for free than you did before. And I think it's important for people to know that. Because a lot of folks have the older cameras, and every time you bought a new Wyze camera, the new one worked the same. The new ones now are not going to work the same as the old ones, unless you pay up. I mean, it's not a huge difference, but it's significant enough. Kyle is here. Hello there. Have I reviewed the Wyze Cam Pro? I don't believe I've looked at the Wyze Cam Pro. Well, that's their 2K camera. You know, I'd never looked at that one. I have not. I should look at that one. I have not reviewed that one yet. They have so many products, it's hard to keep up with them. So I'm Brown. Yeah, this is similar to how Eufy works in that they have a hub that these cameras connect to, and then you can use a thumb drive or a hard drive with those. I've not heard about this. The WZ Mini Hacks. I'll have to play. I was wondering if somebody was going to come up with with an alternative, so there's probably some hope for people that want that. How is the night vision on the OG? I have not tested that yet, but we will do that in the full review. I will say the night vision on this camera is great. I was really pleased with the quality on that. So in the full review, we'll do a night vision test and get that going. All right. Well, I think I've got enough to get started here. And what I need to do is a little more edit stuff. I have a meeting at 6 o'clock tonight, so I've got to hustle to get dinner cooking for the kids. Oh, yes, I did see that, BB Garnett. I can't see them not fixing that problem. Because they're going to get a lot of phone calls like, hey, I don't have an iPhone or an iPad. How do I get into my Apple TV? Because the Apple TV is a good product. Thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. Thank you for that. It does help, so thank you. And I appreciate that. All right, so I'm going to check that out. And the self-hosted podcast, I never even knew was such a thing. I've been getting into self-hosting. You know what the other thing I've been playing around with? I haven't gotten it working yet, but there is an open source federated video thing called PeerTube. And it is really clever how it works. And I'm going to look for that podcast right now, too. Because if I don't put it into my thing now, I'm never going to see it again. I'll forget about it. The self-hosted, is this it? Let me know if this is the right one. Self-hosted. Discover new software and hardware. This has got to be it, right? I'm going to subscribe to that. So PeerTube, you can self-host. It is a distributed, federated YouTube that you can spin up yourself. And I've been playing around with a few instances, just seeing what it's like on the user side, and it's actually really good. And what I was really intrigued about was that it attempts to solve the problem of video distribution at that level of scale. So for example, if I was self-hosting the videos for this channel, it'd be impossible because there's so much data that one of my videos takes up. However, what PeerTube does is that if there's only one person watching the video, then of course it's going from the server to the viewer. But if there's multiple people watching the same video at the same time, it distributes the video. So all the viewers, kind of like a BitTorrent kind of thing, all the viewers send the video data packets to each other. So you don't have this scaling of distribution from a single source. It does a peer-to-peer distribution. It's really clever. And I don't know what that translates to insofar as real-world bandwidth consumption is concerned, but I would imagine it'd be a lot less. And they have a PeerTube instance too. How about that? Yeah, I've been really thinking about this self-hosting thing a lot, as many of you know. So yeah, I've been trying to get it to set up with Docker, and it's been a mess trying to get it working. I don't think the script is working right, or I'm doing it wrong. But maybe I'll find a hosting provider to do it, because I do want to have, because I have a lot of my own stuff hosted now, but I don't have my videos self-hosted, and I would like to do that just as a safety net. Not that I'm I don't do anything controversial, but it's always helpful just in case something goes awry. Super chat, thank you, Jose, much appreciated. Thank you very much for your contribution to the channel. And you all get shout outs when I update my my credit roll And I'm going to try to do some, I think, shout-outs during my review videos also, because I'm not doing as many weekly wrap-ups anymore. So we'll figure out how I'm going to adjust some of that too. So, all right. Well, let me get moving here. But I appreciate all of you stopping by to chat with me as we've been playing around with these new cameras. And tonight's video is going to be about the Wyze stuff. The one following tonight's video will be a review of this camera, which I've shot the review for, so that one's ready to go. And then I got a new trackpad in from Kensington. Maybe we'll pop on another live stream tomorrow play around with that a little bit. So stay tuned for that. Matt K was wondering about Floatplane. Yes, so I am on Floatplane. I've been on there now for about 2 years, 2 or 3 years. So everything that I put on my channel, I put on Floatplane. And I have on Floatplane, I believe, 16 people following me there. So I like Floatplane a lot. And it's a great fit for my channel. And there's not that many of us on Floatplane either, so it's good. And I watch a lot of Linus's videos on Floatplane. So it's pretty cool. All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. And I will be back again before you know it. So set your notifications. If you are not already following me on Amazon, hit the follow button on Amazon, because occasionally what I do is I record my videos live on Amazon. And I don't do that on YouTube, because I figure on YouTube you're going to see the video anyhow, right? So, so I do pop on Amazon a little bit more frequently than YouTube these days. But yeah, that is going to do it. So thank you all for tuning in. Oh, do the bases for the OG have magnets? That's a good question. Let's see. I have a base that I took off of one of the cameras here. Let's see. It does not appear to have a magnet on it. Right, because the old ones did, didn't they? Wait a minute. Let's see. I don't think it's got a magnet. If it has a magnet, it's super strong. I did not see any magnets in the box. The old ones had that, didn't they? Yeah, let me go get those cameras real quick, and I will answer that question for you. So here, look at the box for a second. I got to bring those cameras in anyhow, so. But I don't think it has magnets on it. Let me go grab those real quick and see. It is so nice outside. Yeah, so these bases are not sticking to anything. I have a lot of metal stuff that things stick to, and it's not sticking to any of that. So I don't think they're magnets like they were before. But there does appear to be a second layer on the base. I mean, I guess it would help if I read the instructions, but let's see. It looks like it's got like a, I'm trying to figure out how this is even connected to it. Because it moves a little bit. But no, it doesn't appear to be any kind of magnet base on these. Because I know the old ones did have that. And if we look at the instructions here, yeah, so, oh, see, that plate comes off. Yeah, but no magnets this time. Yeah, so they're relying strictly on a wall connection there. So there you go. Oh, the next whatnot. We're going to do another whatnot. Actually, I've got a couple planned. One is going to be a video game sale. I just need a weekend where I'm home. So Donald Halstead, hello to you on Amazon there. So we're going to do one of those soon. So I would subscribe to my store alert email at Lon.TV/store alert. So what we're going to have is another one of our usual gear sales, and then we're also going to do a video game sale. I've got a bunch of games that I want to get rid of. Long story as to how I acquired them, but we'll do that soon. But yeah, there's no magnet that I can see on these cameras. So that is what it looks like to me, but I'll double check on that. All right, let me run here, but I will catch you all on the next one. And I want to thank, who do I want to thank here? I want to thank Jose Morales and Knife Fight Elmo for your super chats today. Much appreciated. And set your notifications. I will be back maybe tomorrow. So I've got another thing I'm going to be testing out, so be on the lookout. And I will catch you all on the next stream. Have a good one. Bye-bye.